Tonight, a firestorm of controversy for Kanye West because of this photo taken at his Paris fashion show. Ye and conservative commentator Candace Owens wore shirts with the phrase "White Lives Matter" on the back, a phrase activists say is harmful and has been used by white supremacist groups.
Recently, Kanye West debuted his latest Yeezy collection, which included sweatshirts and t-shirts emblazoned with the images of Pope St. John Paul II on the front, with a large font that read "White Lives Matter" on the back. West attended the show alongside conservative author and podcast host Candace Owens, each of them wearing a version of the t-shirt. In response, Vogue editor Gabriella Carifa Johnson wrote on her Instagram that West's White Lives Matter t-shirts were, and I quote, "offensive, violent, and dangerous," end quote. She then continued, quote, "The t-shirts this man conceived, produced, and shared with the world are pure violence," end quote. Along with Carifa Johnson, many others criticized the shirts for being inappropriate. Yet, when many people were sporting Black Lives Matter shirts, if the same criticisms were to be even insinuated, it was viewed as racist, and calling them inappropriate was deemed as hate speech. And herein lies the problem. We will never bridge the color divide if we are constantly looking at color. This battle reminds me of my motorcycle safety training course. The instructor told us that a good portion of motorcycle accidents occur because when the rider is faced with a sudden oncoming obstruction, rather than looking for a clear path to safety, they focused on the obstruction and drive right into it because it's what they're focused on. Tragically, the same is happening to us in our culture. If we keep focusing on the color of someone's skin, we will constantly collide with one another, whether in rhetoric or physical altercations, because we are not focusing on the clear path to safety. And Jesus has already pointed us to the safe, true path in Ephesians chapter 2, verses 13 through 18. But now in Christ Jesus, you who once were afar off have been brought near by the blood of Christ. For he himself is our peace, who has made both one, and has broken down the middle wall of separation, having abolished in his flesh the enmity, that is, the law of commandments contained in the ordinances, so as to create in himself one new man from the two, thus making peace, and that he might reconcile them both to God in one body through the cross, thereby putting to death the enmity. And he came and he preached peace to you who are afar off and to those who are near, for through him we both have access by one Spirit to the Father. Now, the Bible is very clear. God is not a respecter of persons for color or any other physical trait. Romans 2:11 says, "For there is no partiality with God." Galatians 3:28 adds, "There is neither Jew nor Greek, there is neither slave nor free, there is neither male nor female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus." Why? Because according to Acts 17:26, he has made from one blood every nation of men to dwell on the face of the earth. And therefore, Jesus commanded us, in John 7:24, do not judge according to appearance, but judge with a righteous judgment. We are all brothers and sisters and should be able to just get along. But this will not happen until Jesus is the Lord of our lives and we see all people with his heart and not with one that is tainted by sin. May he help us to see him, Jesus, to help us avoid the wreck of impending conflict and focus on the way out that he has provided. His efficacious blood spilled on the cross that unites us and makes us all one. This is Frank from Reasons for Hope. Aloha.